This is Austin Leeds for ADSR. Please subscribe to the ADSR YouTube channel for regular tutorials and more. Today, we're going to talk about 5 quick mix cleanups. Now, these are great tips and tricks that you can use on any DAW using a variety of plugins, and they will really help you make your music sound great. So let's get started. For the first tip, I'm going to talk about frequency analysis. So to start, I'm going to play you the track that I'm working on right now. So you see a very cool, deep, tropical vibe to it. And I'm just going to solo the kick and the bass. And I'm going to open up an EQ for each. So we have the bass and we have the kick. So let's open up the frequency analysis on both. And you can see that the kick and the bass are taking up these lower frequencies, and it's actually sharing a few frequencies here. So let's just see it again. Kind of peaking at about 50 and this at about 50. So for you to decide is which sound do you want to be more present in that frequency range. For me, I want the kick to be able to shine and be there. So what I'm going to do is just dip at 50. So put the EQ up and put the Q up. The Q just determines whether you want your EQ to be sharp, narrow, or wide. So I'm just going to put it up about there for now. Put it down to 50 and put it down a little for now. And I'm just going to dip around this area because, again, this is peaking around here. You can see that. So by dipping this down, it's going to help the kick to be able to come out more. What I'm going to do also is probably take away this low end of the bass as well, to again be able to give the kick a little bit more room in this area. And many times as well, I'm going to, even on the kick, really get rid of that super low. So I'm going to take this to about 25, even 30 sometimes works as well. Because underneath that, it's very difficult to hear and sometimes it's just noise. So it's good to be able to clean that up. So as this is dipped down, so then I want to go to the other side, which is the kick. So the bass has some nice frequencies around this area. So if that's staying around there, the kick still has these frequencies around here. So the kick has a nice knock and a nice feel lower. So what I want to do is just to lower this section here, maybe around 1K-ish. So let's go to 1K, make the Q narrower. And yeah, we're just going to dip that to allow the bass to come out. And maybe too, we want the bass maybe around 200 to be able to hit a little bit more. Let's try the bass at about 200. Yeah, it sounds good around there. So around about 200, perhaps we can put up just a little bit. And then we go back to our kick. And we just dip this down. So you can see just on the frequency analysis, just by looking at it, and of course it's most important to listen and to see how it sounds, but you can really see and use the computer and technology to be able to dip your EQ places to be able to make things higher or lower to make things stand out. And again, we can add in another element. So let's just see what else we have here. So we have this really cool pad, this analog here. So let me open up a sound here, an EQ. And that's already low. So again, I'm just rolling off those low frequencies here. And again, by comparing, we can see here it's in that 500 range. And then we can even go back to the bass a little bit and say, you know what? This is peaking around this area, not really interfering, but maybe around in the bass area, we can dip at about 1,000 or so. Just a little. And again, maybe we can even bring this up a little bit more to create room for the bass. But again, around this area, as you can see, we're going to let this come through. So by doing this for all the channels that you're using, it's great because you're going to see and carve out space, and you can listen as you work to be able to see what is going to be best. So for tip number 2, I'm going to talk about low cut. Now, you already saw me taking off the low frequency from some of the parts already, but now I'm going to do it for everything except the kick and the bass. So let's open this up. So the kick is there, and then the clap, hats, what you can do as well, if you see that no frequencies are hitting, you can really go up with this here, just to make sure that these frequencies are all taken care of and there aren't any weird, sometimes there's a few sub frequencies that would come through. So even going down to the guitar, see, and we can hear here. Now, very nice on its own, but again, when we're playing this throughout the full song, you want this to be for the kick and the bass. So let's put it down, put this here. And there we go. So when we play it with the kick and the bass, you know, we can play with it. So you can see now that it sounds great playing with the frequency here. Open up the flute. So let's see what other sounds could be here. The marimba, perhaps. Play this. And again, like the first trick, you can open up the frequency analyzer and see what things are in each other's frequencies to be able to dip or to gain to be able to create more room in your mix. So let's play some more. So we can keep on going through here, opening up new sounds. Let me just solo this. And this is a perfect example because while the sound doesn't sound like it has bass, you can see that frequency there. And if you have too many sounds that have this frequency, it's going to make the low end really muddy and really bassy. So let's clean this up. And play with the kick and bass. Oh, there's no kick there. I'll stretch that out. And then with the guitar. And this also, I'll stretch this out. So in both of these examples, the guitar had low frequency and this bellhop had low frequency. So by eliminating these, you're going to get a much cleaner and a much better mix. So you can do this as a general rule throughout the entire track. So kind of leave the kick, the bass, if you have a tom, sub, low end frequency up to about 100, you leave just the spot for those low in frequency. So you can cut everything else up to that, and that's a great general rule and a great quick mix tip.